Thunder! 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 Thundercats! Ho!
We're back for ThunderCats Fridays here on the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. I am joined, as always, by my fantastic brother, David.
Flattery will get you everywhere. Good for recognizing greatness.
I have to say, we made it to episode 11 today, David.
So it'll only take us 4 years to go through all the episodes. Listen, that is called job security, people. You want us to just blow through all these episodes in one year? We have a movie that's going to be coming out. We need to time this right.
I think by the time that we finish these, the movie will have been filmed and ready to go.
We have a lot more to talk about.
Honestly, so this is episode 111, The Ghost Warrior. Original air date, September 23rd of 1985.
Picture it, 3rd Earth, 1985.
That's very true. So Thundercats, it seems, air daily by the way that these numbers are going. Like, I'm noticing the air dates is basically daily at this point.
Isn't it Monday through Friday?
It must be Monday through Friday.
She-Ra, He-Man, Thundercats, all Monday through Friday.
This was back in the day when cartoons literally
after school. I think I watched it around.
Day.
I think I watched it around 4:30 Eastern time as a kid. So
they gave you enough time to get home and get settled a little before Thundercats started.
I usually did my homework in school or on the bus or before because I was that good.
Dun 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 dun.
The moral of the story is
David was damn good. So this starts in a very ominous way. It is night. One night, two, oh god,
Wolos.
Balkans.
Oh, they're Balkans?
These are Balkans. This is not to be confused with the Wolos.
Don't they look like Wolos?
I think they're a cousin of Wolos.
Rolos, the candy that you used to eat in a roll as a child. Rolos.
Why do I always have to say these damn names, David? One night, two young Balkans are caught in the midst of a raging thunderstorm. Seeking refuge from the unrelenting rain, the two hide beneath a nearby tree. Suddenly, a fiery lightning bolt falls and the tree splits right across the middle, uncovering a secret chamber beneath it. Hoping to find some concealed treasure or valuables, the two enter the chamber, but instead end up accidentally freeing the spirit of Groon the Destroyer, an evil being who many eons ago had wreaked havoc on the planet. So, David, they were basically gonna be grave robbers.
They're Tomb Raiders. It's Lara Croft Wolo edition or whatever they're called.
They didn't have those little shorts on. The Balkans. These
Balkans.
are not to be confused with Vulcans, evidently. Balkans.
Lightning strikes, which is either you could crack that up to it just happened to happen that way because the tree was there and it was a violent storm, which happens often on Third Earth, or it was meant to happen. They do talk about going in. They're like, oh, this tomb has been untouched, and the guy's like, these are hard times we're living in, because they're like back and forth morally saying, should we do this?
Yes.
Should we do this?
Interesting for a kid's cartoon about grave robbing.
Do you know what I think about? Do you remember in Night of the Living Dead, when they go to rob the graves, and he's like, then he gives the guy the ring.
Return of the Living Dead 2.
Return of the Living Dead 2. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And he's like, little something for the girlfriend, and he's like.
Yeah, with the ring right off the finger, right? He has on the zombie finger.
He's talking about respecting the dead and stuff. Anyway, that's a tangent. They find this tomb. Here's the kicker. They go in. They assume that it hasn't been touched because it's been covered by this tree the whole time. They forego their morals or values, and they say it's hard times. Maybe they'll get some money, jewels or whatever. There is a blue fire burning from a torch on the wall. Okay, maybe this is Third Earth. Maybe they have blue fire sometimes. I don't know. But to me, that would have been for me the first thing to say. Why is there a torch burning this whole time that's blue?
Eternal
to begin
flame.
with? Yeah, it's the Olympic torch or something. So they decide to go further, and then they go to a door, right? They go to a door, and it has a pentacle and two other symbols on it, and the door is rotted because it's that old. Then they have going up to I guess which would be the top of the crypt, the cement stone that has like these two, oh god, what are they called? Maces with...
Because yes, Groon has a mace-like weapon.
They decide they're going to push it open. When they do, shit starts to become real.
I am a broken record when it comes to saying this, but with Thundercat, I think this is a dark plot. This is not what you see on He-Man, and if they did it on He-Man, it wouldn't be like...
It would be. It would not happen. It would not happen. I think the darkest thing on He-Man was the fact that Castle Grayskull was sort of mysterious and a little bit spooky inside. That was about it. Besides the sorceress wearing her nightgown and her headpiece still to bed, there was nothing scary. Like Skeletor never scared me. Snake Mountain never scared me. This stuff is a little bit scary. It's actually diving into the occult. You have pentacles, the use of pentacles,
yes.
Witchcraft. There's some demonic sort of things.
Alone is calling on evil spirits to transform his body.
I mean, I do sometimes in the morning too. Sometimes you just have to. You don't want to get up. I call upon whatever I have to get up.
It's my bones, my bones.
Do you know I just bashed my knee and I was dusting? This is the modern man's problem. I was dusting and rammed my knee into the side of a table and cut open my whole knee.
Oh.
And I'm bleeding profusely and it's so bruised that my knee is killing me. Anyway.
David has some strong legs, everybody.
I do.
Tell you.
Well, you like Independence Day when Vivica Fox kicks open the door to get her kid out of the way? That would be me.
Honestly, you have no idea. David has a kick of a horse. He's got strong legs. Now that's neither here nor there.
That's because I'm carrying a lot of weight. Anyway, as our usual, people don't even know what we're talking about at this point. Balkans. So they open up the tomb. They hear something, and
they decide to go forward anyway and continue this tomb robbing.
Yes, they're tomb raiding.
Times are hard. It's Tiger's voice. You could hear Tiger pulling on another voice. Times are hard. The Vulcan village hasn't been as bumpin' lately. The Burbles haven't been visiting. Weakened from centuries of imprisonment, Groon seeks out Dunjulium in order to strengthen himself. In search, he comes across Cat's lair, surprised to find such a fortress on Third Earth. So it makes me wonder, David, they're saying he was imprisoned eons ago, but how old is Jaga? We find out later that he and Jaga were best friends and fellow Thundercats. So was there also a time-space thing that they went through, possibly?
I thought about that. There's a few, continuity things I have questions about in this episode. The fact is he a ghost, or is he was imprisoned by magic? Okay, so let's just throw magic in the mix. So magic imprisoned him. Maybe Thundera years are different than Third Earth years. Maybe, if you think about it, even in our own solar system, Earth goes around the sun at a certain pace where Mars does, and it's different years and stuff. So maybe it's not as long as we think it is. I don't know. But he's a spirit, so he was either imprisoned, and then all of a sudden, the other thing that kind of got me is that this thing was he just walked the steps up and then he saw Cat's lair. So it was
yeah.
Maybe Third Earth isn't as big as I think it is. Maybe what I was talking about. Remember I was saying about mumm-ra being a pain in the ass HOA Karen that he's complaining. Maybe the Black Pyramid is literally in spitting it. Maybe he could see it. Maybe he could see Cat's lair from his window. I don't know.
All this time we thought it was fields. The Burbles are right there. The Warrior Maidens are...
Maybe it's not as big as we think it is. I was thinking Third Earth was massive.
Unless did he just teleport with his ghostly power?
No, it's he walked up the steps and he looked up and he's like, "There's a Cat's lair here."
And they never noticed this in all their journeys.
Yeah, but so he goes to the Cat's lair, but as a spirit. So yeah,
And David, I love this. So we do get Chitara's psychic abilities in this, but do you notice Chitara is the first one to feel a presence come in? So again, this is setting up.
Well, she feels a wind. She feels a breeze because the door opens. Let's not get crazy. So did Snarf. Of course. Blame poor Snarf for leaving the door open.
It wasn't Snarf. He enters the Cat's lair and starts absorbing the lair's Thundrillium storage, while the Thundercats try desperately to figure out what is causing all the paranormal activities.
He pushes Panthro back.
Oh, and Panthro gets angry.
And then why the kid's like, "There's a spirit in here and it's stronger than Panthro." Oh my god, oh hell no.
Was it Tiger tries to...
He says his hand hands holding it, and he can't get them budged. And then he rips a compartment of some kind of compartment and slams it against Panthro against the wall.
Against the wall. But how is it the Tigra? Okay, because we're picturing a ghost, right? We're picturing that the ghost you go through. But in this, Tigra's feeling hands. He's like, oh, these are strong hands. This is like Ghost and making pottery. He's going behind in these hands. So they realize it is a ghost because Chitara's like, there's a presence here.
And he just groped me. He groped me.
Well,
Thundera.
He's from Thundera. With the strength gained, Groon materializes in front of the Thundercats, taunting them and eventually leaving with the promise of meeting again soon. So he does mention that Rhino's just a boy.
Your cub.
Boy cub returns again.
He materializes and then Chitara goes for him. She comes
That's
for
what
him.
I mean. She's not having the disrespect. As soon as he calls him a boy, she like gets mad and she throws that staff right at him. She's like, no.
And then I like the way she gets pushed back and she perches like in a pose in front of Lionel like a cat.
And she's not having that disrespect to her lord, Lionel.
She can have it.
We get dark ambiance with this. We get Groon roaming the fields of Third Earth because he wants something that they call on Third Earth Firestones, aka Thundranium.
There's Thundrillion and Thundranian. And the funny thing is also Chitara, when this whole thing happens, she's, and he knows us. He knows them. He says he's going to be back. They kind of feel powerless because they can't. How do you fight something that you can't feel or see or attack?
And Lionel's grandstanding. We will fight this force. So be it. He's going to find a way to fight this ghost. But you're right. Like, how do you fight the supernatural? So the following day, so they get a night's rest, evidently. Groon begins his reign of terror on Third Earth by demolishing the settlements of various gentle races across the world, including the Balkans, the Wolos, and the Burbles. Where is Nada? You know those warrior maidens ain't having it. He demands that they bring him fire rocks, a highly unstable substance whose mining had been banned for many centuries. The terrified inhabitants ask the Thundercats for help, informing them about Groon's demands. So do you like this? They meet outside the cat's lair.
This is like when the magical community came to the Charmed Ones all at one time.
Yes.
There's like a fairy here, there's like a goblin over there, there's a Wolo over here, there's a unicorn keeper over there.
I wish they got her to come out. She's coming again though, people. So Tigra immediately recognizes fire rocks as being the same as Thundrillium.
Thundranium, damn it, Thundranium.
Oh, thank you. And I'm reading it, people. I'm reading it. Thundranium. Remembering the location of the Thundranium pits, Groon heads there and forges a battle club from the material. So this will weaken, technically, the Thundercats' powers, because it's made of something that weakens them.
It's their kryptonite.
Which still happens to be on Third Earth somehow.
Well, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Do you feel like Third Earth and Thundera is like Earth would be to Mars or something?
It has to be.
I guess we should probably not jump ahead, but we always do. Like, they banished him, Groon, and then he ends up on Third Earth. When Blundera blows up, the closest planet they can get to that's breathable air is Third Earth.
It sounds like Third Earth is the dumping grounds, too, in general. Maybe this is the universal...
It sounds like we're going to go to Mars with Elon Musk, and then we're going to become cat people, and at some point we're going to come back to Earth, and it's going to be...
And reclaim it.
And Karen, there's going to be like mumm-ra Karen that survived the apocalypse for years, living on the blood of the young or something that were left over.
Back inside the cat's lair, the Thundercats are still trying to figure out who or what Groon is. Even the Sword of Omens, sight beyond sight, fails to shed any light on the situation. I love this. It actually is just like a clear... It's like, nope.
He does the sight beyond sight, and the Sword of Omens is like this cloudy nothing, and he's like... And Panthro reminds him that the Sword of Omens is not psychic.
Right.
It's not psychic? Is that what he says?
It doesn't... Or it was older than the Sword of Omens, which made no sense.
No, he said it's not psychic. In other words, like, the Sword of Omens, when he does sight beyond sight, is really really just like quick current events that's
I
happening.
guess it's like immediate, like almost like, again, Charmed, Phoebe gets a premonition prior to something happening. Maybe it's like it really is an alarm system. It's got like a short-term psychic.
Maybe it needs Madame Teresa.
David, I could have just read the next sentence. Okay. Not surprising, as the sword does not pose any psychic powers, which to me is insane because I thought it did. As Tigra points out, Chitara then reveals,
"No, you can't make me do it, I won't!"
That she does possess psychic powers. Her sixth sense allows her to see visions, but harnessing it is very taxing on her. David, they look at her. "We know someone who can." "No, you can't ask me to."
"I won't do it, I won't, you hear me, I won't do it."
Did you see that? And Tigra's like, "It brings her to the brink of oblivion."
Sometimes it takes her days, months to recover.
So what do they do with Chitara, honestly, when she has one of these visions? Like, they just put her, like, Barbara from Night of the Living Dead in a room?
She has a migraine that lasts forever. I don't know what's like.
He did say months and weeks.
Sometimes it takes a long time, takes it out of her. So, and she's like, then Lion-O says to her, being that he says, "Then you mustn't do it," and she says, "At this point, I must. This is the time I must do it."
It didn't take her much to convince her. Lion-O just says, "Don't do it, Chitara." She's like, "As long as someone told me not to do it, then I'm willing to do it."
You know, it happens. Things happen. So again, to me, this is why I love Chitara so much. Besides
everything else,
besides all the voices that Lynn Lipton does, Chitara's, first of all, the first person to attack. She's very empowered. So anybody that says, again, cartoons with women in it, especially people are trying to cancel culture like 80s cartoons. To me, as a man, as a boy, even though I'm a gay man, doesn't matter to me, still as a man. Role models, Chitara was stronger to me than anybody, one of the strongest out of everybody. She was the first person to go on the offensive. She was the first person to take on mumm-ra without even thinking about it. And he's like the scariest thing ever. Lion-O,
more than Tigra, she
freaked out and hid and like got scared. And she's like,
"I've seen worse. Come at me."
I've had to live with 4 men and a cub for years.
1 litter box.
Don't tell me I don't know what war is like.
But honestly, this is true. If anyone does not give it up to Chitara, she's beautiful, which means nothing, but beautiful, cunning, smart, talking. She comes up with like one-liners or funny sentences. She is amazing.
I mean, they're all cool in their own way, but I love Chitara. I just love Chitara. I've always had.
She's not a cliched character. She has depth, and yes, she does have psychic powers. So when Chitara, I don't even know where to begin. So Chitara, I don't even know, David.
She would spin around.
She has to spin around to get a vision. But over the years, David and I remember clear as day, they used a term for Chitara spinning around. Does anyone else remember this? And it sounds like gyro, something that she spins around and gets a vision.
Maybe that's
gyromancy, maybe instead of
She likes gyro. She eats gyros before and after this. I really don't know. Maybe that's part of the glitch in the Matrix.
I see. Groon, but not the Destroyer. He's a Thundercat. I see. Jaga. He and Groon are friends. Great friends. And great warriors, defending Thundera against all invaders. But greed overcomes Groon, and they lust for power. Groon and his army of marauders sweep across Thundera, destroying, looting, bringing shame to the code of the Thundercats. Jaga pursues him. They clash. Hour after hour they fight, day after day, but Jaga is the mightier. Groon is banished from Thundera, set adrift in space. And it's gone. I see nothing more.
So Chitara spins around with her sixth sense, which revealed that Groon was once a Thundercat and friend to Jaga. Groon was eventually overcome by greed and turned evil. It was thus up to Jaga to defeat Groon and banish him for good. David, she was so dramatic. The battle rages. Neither one gains ground. I see no more. That's it.
That's it. Show's over. Show's over, people.
I see no more. The vision's over. You know, it takes a lot. Chitara's gonna be at it for a week now. Panthro reckons that Groon's spaceship must have ended up on Third Earth somehow, thus explaining his presence on the planet. Yeah, sure.
I would love to know the backstory of who was powerful enough to banish him, because the only person I can think of is mumm-ra.
Well, I guess at the height of Jaga's, he was a young man at that time. She didn't say that. Chitauri didn't mention that.
No, but he didn't banish. I'm talking about on Third Earth. He was
Right.
with the seal. I want to know.
Oh, yes.
Were there Wiccans? Were there other magical creatures that we never will know about? Because there is, again, which also, that's another reason why I love this, but I do love the mystery of magic and stuff like that, and
Definitely, and it adds that there might have been good people to seal him away. A giant Groon then starts hammering Cat's lair with his newly formed battle club, rattling everyone inside. So the freaking Cat's lair has been having it lately. Attacked. They're constantly having to repair this damn place.
Uninvited guests, constantly ripping out consoles. I mean, my God, it's like having to have your iPhone screen repaired like every week.
My God. Well, I have to go back to the screen shop.
Oh God, they have to do it at the Apple store. I have to make an appointment at the Thundercat store to get the screen fixed. The Burble Village. The Burbles are only taking appointments because of pandemic. They're only doing it a couple of hours a day.
Panthro, make sure you bring your Thundercats insignias to sell some while you go there. Now aware of Groon's true origin, Lion-O summons Jaga, something which Groon wanted all along, to have a rematch with his former ally. So as the two spirits battle it out, Groon succeeds in disarming Jaga, but Lion-O throws his mentor the Sword of Omens.
He says, Jaga, your Sword of Omens.
Yeah, you like that?
It's respectful. It's respect. Tiger says something like, to the effect of, was there ever a battle like this? It's like the heavens are ablaze or something, and they're going back and forth.
I love that. It's a dark night, and just picture thunder and stuff clashing as these swords and the mace are battling out, and they're seeing two giant ghosts in the sky battling above Cat's lair. So at some point, after Groon gets the better of Jaga by the Thundranium radiating from Groon's battle club, Lion-O commands Jaga to take my strength.
I, Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats, command it. Or something. He does one of those. Because Jaga says he won't do it.
So is it almost like a 5-hour energy shot? The Lion-O? I would love to drink some Lion-O, like a shot.
I'm going to tell you, I found some. I do a red berry, and I do vibrant reds, like a powdered thing. It's popular. You can buy it on Amazon. And I do a powdered spirulina with chlorella. And it's really vibrant green. It stains stuff, and I mix it with my collagen now. It doesn't taste good, but I got to tell you something. I take it now. I've been taking it, and it really gives me energy. I crash in the afternoon, and I can feel the effects wearing off. The effects of the fruit. Silky's fruit wears off probably around 3 o'clock, but if I take it in the morning, it definitely makes a difference. The combination together.
Lion-O.
Yeah. So
flaming red hair.
So Lion-O says, "Take my strength, Jaga." He takes it, and then he disarms Groon. I want to say Gruel from Despicable Me. But what I love is Chitauri just out of nowhere. They're talking. Chitari's like basically like, "I hope he survives, Lion-O."
Yeah.
Oh, I hope he survives. He made me spin around. Now, I hope he survives. Now, you try, Pee-wee.
Exactly. Did they really think, though, that I guess it was going to take all of his strength? Sailor Moon style?
Exactly. He used the power of the silver crystal. He basically gives Jaga his strength. Jaga disarms Groon, and then he goes, Jaga, you wouldn't not take a hand in friendship or something like that? Or
because Jaga gets the mace out of his hands. But does he talk like that, David, because of the snaggletooth?
Yeah,
he does have that kind of a Jaga.
Probably. Well, whatever.
Desperate to come up with voices in this recording.
Use a speech impediment. Use a speech impediment. If you need to make a new voice, use a speech impediment. Lynn Lipton can't do another voice for you. Get it together. Jaga goes to shake his hand. He grabs the Sword of Omens like, you fool, your pride or whatever is your weakness kind of a thing. But then the Sword of Omens just engulfs him, takes him. And you see like the little eyes slant, the thing, he disappears into it. So Jaga knew.
Can't the Sword of Omens humans do. Again, here we go. Sucking up Ghostbuster style. Ghostbusters ectopacks.
So Jaga gives Lionel back the Sword of Omens, and then you see Lionel's muscles start to bulge up again because he got his strength back. Yeah.
I was too taken by them thinking he was dead.
No, well, so Lionel wasn't dead. His muscles came back, thank God.
They didn't say this in the synopsis. Again, thank you to the ThunderCats Wikipedia for the synopsis that we used to remember the episodes that we just watched. The Balkans do come at the end and admit that we were the ones that released Groon, and they apologize because they were tomb robbing, but they don't mention that, I don't think. It's been hard times, as you know. The Burbles have taken over businesses. But they forgive, they're Thundercats, they forgive. Little notes about this episode, David. Neither mumm-ra nor the mutants appear in this episode, clearly. This is the first episode in which all the Thundercats can see Jaga's spirit, something which previously only Lionel was able to do. Okay, but again, that's questionable.
But that's good, though, that they were able to see him. So now they know Lionel's just not talking to himself.
You know, you think they talk when he goes to sleep? Our young lord, do you think he's okay?
Does he have an imaginary friend?
You know, I heard him talking to himself in the kitchen last night. He was asking if he should eat any more candy fruit. In this episode, Jaga is depicted with his original full color scheme instead of the bluish tone that he's been shown since the episode The Burbles. I mean, because I guess he was, I don't know, engulfed with energy. Like, he's got
semi-corporeal, non-corporeal.
A closer inspection at Jaga's outfit reveals that apart from donning a body armor,
body armor. He's got body warmer. He's got leg warmers.
Wow, he's got his one-piece freaking, what the hell is that?
Unitard?
Leotard. Jaga's also wearing chainmail armor. Armor! As clearly evident around his left shoulder. In this episode, we learn that Cheetara possesses psychic abilities, which she refers to as her sixth sense. She would use this power in many more future episodes. Strangely, Groon, former Thundercat, is not at all affected by Thundranium. I thought that too. A substance of which has been known to weaken all Thundercats. I guess because he's a ghost, but then it affects Jaga.
Well, maybe because he's not a Thundercat anymore. Once you give up the insignia. Once you don't have rights to the franchise anymore, you ain't got the power either.
That's it, bye! We claim the Thundercats logo. While Thundrillium is often shown to be used by the Thundercats as a fuel to power their vehicles and equipment, in this episode it is shown to re-energize Groon's spirit as well, sucking up that energy. So David, I just looked this up, Groon is voiced by Bob McFadden, who is our Snarf, our Slive, Vultureman, the Troggles, Top Spinner, Wollos, Mole Men,
Gypsy
Living Ooze, everybody, and future villains and friends to begin with. Honestly, this is a talented voice cast. He voiced over 40 characters in Thundercats. Oh my god. Actually, this is a jammed-packed episode of Thundercats we just did. It's one of, I guess, a classic because it does introduce Groon, a rogue Thundercat. David, what did you think about this episode?
I liked it. It wasn't a slow episode.
No.
At the beginning, I kind of thought it would be at the very beginning. No, I liked it. I liked, I always tie everything together from the 80s and stuff. So I'm thinking like how do I put this? Like when Superman goes to Earth, like in the original with Christopher Reeve, how the bad guys, they vanished and they finally made it to Earth. They finally made it to Earth in those little, they look like little tiles or little, what were they? You know what I'm talking about? The glass things that he was spinning in, and they finally made it to Earth. So Commander Zod and the other two. So it was like that too for me. That I'm glad it was action packed. I got to see a little bit more of Cheetara's abilities, and she's still solidifying herself as the top badass.
And really, she is one of the most loved Thundercats. Honestly, if you did a poll, it's going to be Panthro, Cheetara. These are the characters that people truly love. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us for another Thundercats. You could reach David at Universal Appeal 2020, all one word, on Instagram, the Radical Retro Rewind Podcast, all one word, on Instagram, as well as our YouTube channel that is growing as we speak. Thank you so much.
And we're also on iHeartRadio now.
We are on iHeartRadio. We are on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Please share, like, subscribe, all those wonderful things that people beg you to do on these things.
So just do it. Just peer pressure. Don't make me have to spin around and get a vision.
I'm having a vision right now. Oh. We will be back again with more Thundercats goodness for you guys. Thank you guys so much. Take care.
Bye.
Thunder! Thunder! Thunder!